just want to give everybody a heads up tonight at 8 o'clock on the Show Me Hoops podcast, our live broadcast. We will have Coach Aaron Bidewell of the Hayti Indians. We will have Coach Pete McBride of the Eminence Red Wings. We will have Coach Jamarcus Williams of the Charleston Blue Jays. All three of those teams are making a trip to the Final Four. We'll also be talking with Coach Bryce Kemper of the Mid-Buchanan Dragons. I've got an interview with Coach Kenyon Wright, a former player of mine who has 3 state titles to his name, and we've got more. There's a lot of other coaches we're talking with throughout the day. We're going to string all that together into one show this evening, and I just wanted to share part of the talk that I had with Kenyon Wright. This is just fantastic. It's going to be a great show tonight. This is just part of what we talked about.
You know, what advice would you give our coaches? I mean, because we're talking to different coaches that are out there. I actually talked to Bryce Kemper, who's at Mid-Buchanan this morning. I talked to him. Just different guys that are out there, different guys, like Aaron Bidewell. He's making his first trip up there. Now, when you made your first trip up there, you were making it with one of the all-time great teams to come out of Southeast Missouri with Bobby Hatchett and Otto Bubba Porter. You had a phenomenal team, and you had been an assistant coach there, so you had a familiarity with those kids and had been there with those kids. But you have a unique perspective. You have won a state title as a player for me. You won a state title as an assistant coach with Ronnie Cookson, one of the greatest coaches of all time, and you got to sit under him and learn. I'm not on that level, but I think I know a couple things. So I think you got to be around a couple really good coaches, and then you got to go yourself that first time. Like, what advice would you give to Coach Bidewell or any of the coaches that are listening to this that are going for the first time?
Well, I think the number one thing is don't change what got you there. I think that's a big part of it. A lot of coaches get up there and the officiating might be a little different from what it is down in Southeast Missouri, because they'll let you, put your hands on you a little bit more, and, because everybody kind of does it down this way where, this year being at Springfield, it's going to be a little bit different, but, I think it'll be a lot of the same as Columbia, kind of the same officiating crews and things that they have, but don't change what you do and what got you there. Because if you go to changing what, your kids are used to and what they're, accustomed to doing and that's going to throw them off. They're not. You want to keep doing the same things that you've always done all year. That's what got you to the Final Four. You go to changing that. You go to doing something that you're not accustomed to. Kids aren't ready for that kind of thing. It's something you got to be. They're prepared. You're preparing them all year, and you've done certain things all year. So keep doing those things.
And that was our talk with Kenyon Wright. Like I said, we've got a stacked lineup of coaches tonight that we're talking with. We're going to do a lot of Final Four talk, a lot of talk about the bracket, a lot of talk about the state tournament and kind of the year in review. But also going to do a shout out to Coach Danny Farmer, a tribute to Coach Danny Farmer for just the outstanding career that he's had. He's making his 16th Final Four trip this year, his 8th at Charleston. He also had 8 as the girls' coach at Scott County Central. He's going for his 8th state championship, and so definitely going to show some love to Coach Farmer and just a terrific career that he's had, at Charleston and at Scott County Central. So tune in tonight, 8 o'clock. There's going to be a lot of basketball to talk about. JWT.